Yes, people, what is going on? We are back yet again. McLaren Fan TV Business, Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time. And boy, the Brazilian Grand Prix, well, rather the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. I want to forget about the race altogether. I want to forget about the weekend altogether. I'm joined with my co-host Mahad from the Pit Stop Fracker, MFTV. What's going on, Mahad?
I feel sick. Of all the ups and downs, the emotional roller coasters of the past weekend for McLaren, and all the stuff that happened in the race, the thing that made me sick the most is that Alpine got a double podium.
Yeah, I think is that what it is? Is that what it is?
That's like the dagger. For me. I'm like, of all teams, that team. All right.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, the trigger that we've had to watch Ferrari win back-to-back weeks, and then just for good measure, like when the setup of how our sprint shootout was, how the sprint went, how quali went, and we thought, you know what, we are on the road to success here, and then to have a double Alpine podium, mate. They were talking financial figures, 50 million. This is costing them this, that, and the. I'm just like, you know what, whatever in it, like whatever. Who cares? It was the quickest off button after a race I've ever done. And normally I sit and watch the post race stuff. I watch the analysis. I watch all of it. I usually drink it all in. This weekend, absolutely not.
Listen, I ain't taking this in.
Absolutely
not. No interviews, none of that.
Nothing to take in. I don't even want to hear what Lando and Oscar has to say yet. I'm not ready for that conversation just yet. Do you know what I mean? I'll wait to hear from them when I've calmed down and I've had a moment to just talk about what we're going to discuss today on today's pod. But my God, it was a hard one to digest.
I will say this: this stream, however long it is, 1 hour, whatever. This is the last time I'll ever talk about this race ever again.
It will be.
I will never even refer back to this race. I will never talk about this race again.
No, what's there to talk about? What will there be to discuss after tonight? After tonight, it's over and done with. I'm done right now. Look, I forgot we had the sprint weekend. You know what I mean? I had to look back at it, and as I think we have this problem every sprint weekend race anyway, that we forget the shootout, we forget the sprint. We touch on the sprint maybe. Who won? That's it. And then we get into the nitty gritty on a Saturday and Sunday, or rather, just a double Sunday. What changed over the weekend, Mahad? Why was it that it started off so good? Friday, we were living La Vida Loca. Saturday, you know what I mean? And then Sunday, why did it go pear-shaped on Sunday?
I think there's a multitude of factors, right? The number one factor, guys, is weather. Friday and Saturday morning, wherever the sprint race was dry weather, and we looked very good in dry weather, especially in qualifying. Like, we put this new rear wing on, and thank God we've got a rear wing now that actually has a DRS effect, gives us downforce, and still fast on the straights. So I think they've figured out the wing thing, and at the end of the day, now I understand why they didn't care about that other rear wing but getting banned, because they were developing this one. They were like, we don't care about that one. We've got this one in the pipeline.
They were quick to just brush it over, weren't they? They were quick to just move on.
So if this is the philosophy that they're going for, it's going to bode us well for next season. If we can get, especially if they've got a modification of it for Vegas. But we'll see that. We'll see what happens. But reality is, qualifying, you can't go wrong. We locked out the front row.
Yeah. What did we say last week on the pod? I told you Oscar P1 on the weekend.
You said sprint. You said he's going to win the sprint.
I thought he would win the sprint, to be fair. And let's be honest.
Technically he won.
Let's be honest. He technically won, because my man was just, little strategy. You know what I mean? But he started on pole, and then it would have been his. It would have been his. But obviously for the team, you know what I mean? It is what it is. We have to do what we have to do. But you got him.
And in the reality, within dry conditions, that was the wing. And if it was going to be dry on the Sunday, that's the wing they would have gone with, and they would have had better race pace. They took a gamble of changing the rear wing back to the old rear wing with no practice session. Just zero practice session. Just have no idea how that's going to work in the race. They just said, we're going to put it on. It did help us out in qualifying, although I think that's a bit, the real qualifying, I think, on Sunday morning, because they delayed it. I think that really helped us. I think it helped us, but I think it was a lot to do with Lando as well, putting on pole in those conditions, because we know about Lando. When the track is wet and it's drying, there's no more rain and it's drying and he's on inters, he's one of the best at it.
He is.
But he was really struggling in Q1 and so on because of he's not particularly comfortable on wet tires when it's raining as well. And I don't think the car is either. But going back to just sprint quality, I said check, we sorted it out. We're on pole, we've got 1-2 right there. Although Lando should be on pole, because I don't know why he's messing up his last lap. That was a bit of a flashback from last year. I was like, why did you do that? He was decimating people. Did you see it? Q1, Q2. He was putting 6 temps, 8 temps. He was destroying the whole field.
He was
in sprint quality, and then all of a sudden on the last run, I don't know what he was playing at. And then that came to the whole situation in the sprint race where they were mucking around with the swapping of positions. Just swap positions early doors. What were we doing?
Get it over and done with, yeah. Get it over and done with.
The second that there was a period of time where they were both away from Leclerc and Max. Yeah. There was like a 1.8 second gap, whatever. Lando had a gap between them. I said, why didn't you just swap then? Why are you saying swap on the last lap? We don't know what's going to happen on the last lap. What are you talking about?
Yeah, let's get, we have to get there before we can start making decisions like that. We should get there. You're right. I think we should have done it earlier. Definitely.
But we got away with it.
We were on our
shout outs to Hulkenberg. We got away with it.
Thank you, Hulk.
Got away with it. And then I noticed, I was like, at that moment in time, that's the first time I've seen Max be fast in ages.
Yeah.
The sprint race was like,
but
then I thought, in Austin when he won the sprint race, he was fast then, but I thought in my mind, that's only a sprint race thing. He can't do that over a Grand Prix. That car, something goes wrong with it over a Grand Prix distance.
And it showed, didn't it? And it showed.
Yeah.
In Austin.
In Austin, and when it got to Grand Prix time, he was slow, right? Yeah. So I was thinking, maybe that's just a sprint race thing. The car's very good on sprint race. They say whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Then
we heard the whole qualifying getting delayed to the next day, right? And we saw a Sunday morning qualifying. We did the job, but we half did the job. First of all, Lando Norris, can you wake up in the morning? Because that Q1 near Q2 exit, you need to just chill out. The Q1 exit was terrifying. Just like, please, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you just get through on time? Because Oscar got to P5 and I was like, okay, you're through. I was like, Lando, just put a P10 time in, whatever. This guy was on the brink of getting knocked out. Because he could not put a lap in on them wet tires. I know there was some traffic issues, and then when he did get the lap in, it just didn't work out for him. But thank God he got through the motions. Oscar looked good in qualifying, but then when it got to Q3 and the rain stopped, and they were on inters and they were on a drying track, Lando showed his talent again and just comfortably put it on pole. And then he had to put it on pole without having the tires on the blanket. So Russell and Tsunoda and Lawson, all those guys, they only put one lap in because they sat there for the first run and had those tires in the blanket up to temperature. Lando had to do a lap and then another lap. So that's how impressive that pole position is. That he didn't have no tires heating up or anything like that. And we saw with Oscar. Come on, man! I was screaming at my TV. I thought he was gonna crash.
Did you? Yeah, I can see why you thought that. I can certainly see why you thought you would. Because, Osaka. I think it's one of them ones where I think the break is going to do him some good. I think he just kind of needs the moment just to reset, take stock, and go again. I mean, like, I'm glad to see what he did in terms of the shootout. Like, he did so well. And obviously in the race, sprint race
was fantastic in the race.
He was brilliant in the race as well. And then obviously, the next day things didn't quite go according to plan. So,
and we needed at that qualifying, considering the times that Oscar was putting in Q1, Q2, whatever. Yeah. I really thought, okay, we need Oscar on the front row. Whether I didn't care if he got pole or got P2. We need him on the front. We need them two together, right?
Yeah,
But that's such a big mistake in the last run on Q3.
It's too big. It's too big.
To end up P8 in that car when your teammate's on pole, you can't do that.
You can't.
Especially we're in a constructors fight. In my mind, I'm like, at bare minimum, you have to out-qualify Leclerc.
Even though Leclerc is brilliant at quality, yeah. But yeah, definitely.
So we're already seeing the mistakes creeping. We're getting away with it. We've won a sprint race. We've put it on sprint. We've locked up the front row in sprint quali. We've locked out the front row in sprint race, and we've got pole in the race, right? But the mistakes are there. So we've seen the mistake in the sprint race with the strategy. We've seen the mistake from Lando in qualifying in Q3 in the sprint race. We've seen the mistake in Q3 by Oscar. I'm seeing, look, something's not right here, right?
Something's not quite right.
Something's not right, yeah. And then before the race, I'm extremely nervous because they've changed this wing. I'm like, why did they change this wing? we did look okay in qualifying, but we should have. Yeah. We need straight line speed. How can you go racing without straight line speed?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the start.
Not again. I couldn't believe what I was staring at because I watched Lando take off closely, and I thought it didn't look like a bad getaway. You know, it didn't look like a bad getaway at all. But Russell come out and like it felt like he come out of nowhere, and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't phase 2 again, is it? Phase second part of the start of the race.
Yeah,
like I thought we were gone. I thought we left that. I thought we were gone from those moments. I didn't realize they're still here to haunt us. Now, is it because it's the weather? Is it track? Is it like weather dependent?
Well, he got a better launch initially off the line. When I looked at it, I was like, right, he dusted Russell. But second phase again, I don't know whether he just didn't have grip on his side or what.
It looked
madness. Nasty.
It's madness.
It looked nasty, and just come on, man.
It's just
I just like, because I'll tell you this. I was watching the Barcelona game, then I watched the race from the safety car restart. I watched 2 safety car restarts. We'll talk about that later. Then I switched off the TV. I said, I'm going to watch this tomorrow because this is unacceptable.
You couldn't believe it.
I don't even know why Alpine's P233. I don't know what's going on.
No.
So then I rewatched it on the Monday. I watched that start. I said, for the love of God, man.
Yeah.
For the love of God, man.
Yeah.
And it could be something to do with the car. It could be whatever. Just allow me, man, because Singapore, you did it properly.
This is it.
I don't know whether it's the gear ratios, whatever. You can't make the mistake. Whether it's a technical issue or a him issue, you've done a normal start before. I've seen it.
What is your
the second phase was fine.
What does your instinct tell you?
I just feel like there was less grip on that side. Even then, if there wasn't less grip, obviously they would have heated. The team would have made the grid spot dry, right? When he's going off, and it's completely fine. Like the launch was okay, but I don't know, man. And he didn't even look like he was going to cut off the inside. I don't know, man. I'm not bothered.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot to chop in.
And then we know this already from Silverstone that Mercedes is good in the wet. Yeah, when it's super wet, they're good, right? Yeah. And then when it stops raining and the track is drying up, we're good. That's the only scenario of wet weather that this car is good. Yeah. It's the only scenario. When it's actually raining and it's non-stop raining, this car is not good. We saw this because Mercedes dusted us in Silverstone in the beginning of the first stint. They were gone.
They did.
And then when it stopped raining, that's when we caught up with them. But that's what this is. I in my mind, when I was watching that beginning bit, I was thinking in my head, I think if we did like 100 simulations, I think 60 simulations Russell wins.
Do you think? In 60 of them, in terms of this rate, like the way, so the weather's the same.
I don't think. Obviously, we got ahead of him on that overtake when it was proper wet or whatever.
What was that? I just think. What was going on there? Because George just said, you know what, I'm lifting.
George is trying to. Okay, one thing I will say, and we should all take this into account. There were treacherous conditions.
By the way,
for everybody, that was treacherous.
By the way,
If you're looking at onboards and stuff, like, how did they even see what's going on? We could talk about mistakes. Do you know how much drivers made mistakes? Because that was treacherous conditions.
it was
That was not
indeed.
normal conditions, right? Yeah.
It was indeed.
When Lando did the overtake, I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't comprehend that he's done the overtake without even knowing where the guy is. He couldn't even see. Look at his onboard, he can't see.
It was the classic Schumacher Coulthard. I thought we were heading to that. I thought we were.
And Russell's like, I'm not trying to die here. Just overtake me, it's fine. There's not a problem.
because he was calling for a red flag early doors, man. He said it's red. Come on, this is red. This is a red condition. It was horrific what we were watching there.
It was bad. It was bad. And
it was very bad.
Like, so we have to take that into account that these conditions were very, very, very bad. And some cars dealt with it better. Some drivers dealt with it better. I just feel like in that initial stint, I feel like, you know, when he was just the whole laborious Norris is behind Russell the whole first stint, whatever. Yeah. I just felt like I just felt like the Mercedes was faster. Russell was faster.
Do you think Norris took over because it was just like Russell was just like, I'm going to be extra cautious now. This is getting out of hand. You
could say. I feel like
because you're
I feel like Norris was talking about box to overtake, whatever. I think personally, whoever's not in spray, you're good.
Oh yeah.
So if Norris was ahead, he would have maybe navigated it a little bit better because he could actually see.
Yeah.
Russell had the advantage of actually being able to see. Norris is sitting behind him within 1 second, cannot see.
Yeah.
At all.
It's not on, is it?
And that compromised the race. So I feel like even if Norris was ahead, Russell would be right behind him the whole time. I don't think
that's fair. No, that's fair.
Because I feel like this rear wing was just simply so. We could be fast as sector 2 all you want.
Yeah.
We were just slow on the straight, so it does not matter at the end of the day. And from there, we see the whole they boxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
For more inters, because Leclerc boxed first, and then and then Oscar boxed.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where hindsight's 2020, right?
Sure.
If there was no safety car, red flag, whatever, the box is the correct decision. Because those who stayed out, they're gonna have to box regardless. They're gonna box at some point.
We were on virtual safety at the time, weren't we? And that's when
they boxed, and then it switched off when they went in.
It ended when they went in.
Yeah,
meaning track position was actually important.
but my point is on the strategy is like if you wanted to overtake Russell and you were saying box to overtake, if you see Russell boxing, you should not box.
Because it's just like for like, is it?
Yeah, even if you decide to box the next lap, you should not box. I know there's a virtual safety car, whatever.
Yeah.
Just stay out.
Firm it.
Because if you're saying that, if Norris is saying, I just need to get past this guy, wouldn't you just do opposite?
I mean, I think, I don't know if we were to just watch what Russell was doing, because at that time, in that moment, live and direct, I thought the virtual safety car would stay out. We could box Lando, come back out again, and everyone's going to do, everyone will be, I think Karim was talking about net lead and whatever it was. Like, I felt like the pack would have reshuffled. We would have been back in the front, and that would have been it. That would have, I didn't think about whatever George does, can we match? I just felt because especially Lando can overtake George, I didn't worry about how quick or what the Mercedes were really doing, in all honesty, at the time of the race. Obviously, when you mentioned the fact that Mercedes are so good in the wet, and George did dunk on Norris at the beginning, it's tough. It's tough.
And you didn't apart from Verstappen, you didn't see it overtakes. People weren't overtaking.
People were not overtaking except Max Verstappen. Yeah.
So in that position, isn't track position best? If you see George box, you need track position.
Yeah, track position is best. Well,
right,
but was it though?
It was in that scenario. I think. Listen. This year, when I said the simulation, either George wins.
Yeah.
Do you know what the other percentage was? I think Max was going to win. There was not. I don't think there was a scenario where McLaren wins this race.
Except the weather drying up.
I think we're just if it just all of a sudden stopped raining the whole race,
The sun
and then the
come
track
out.
was drying up, then we would be fast.
Yeah.
In that scenario, we were slow, man. We ain't winning this race.
That race. Yeah.
There was no way we were winning that race.
He said it himself, Norris. What did he say? Best that we could have got was P4.
But that doesn't excuse for the mistakes that Norris made.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because
absolutely not.
So let's talk about these mistakes.
Yeah, let's go.
Listen,
guys, we will get to your comments. Don't worry. We will.
We're fair here. We're fair here. Yeah, we've already acknowledged
we are
4 mistakes this weekend. We said Norris is sprint quality. No, put it on pole. What are you doing?
Yeah.
2, sprint race. What is the strategy team doing with these positions? Joke team.
We got away with it. Yeah.
Right. Absolute joke team. 3rd mistake, Oscar qualifying. What are you doing? Q3, you need to be on the front row, or at least on the front 2 rows.
Help.
You're getting out qualified by Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson.
And how long did he stay behind them lot as well?
We'll speak about that as well, because that's diabolical as well. The length of time he was behind Lawson is diabolical.
The length of time with Lawson.
And then he clarted him, which is even worse.
Yeah, penalty and all,
Yeah. Okay. Norris, start shambolic. I can make excuses all you want. You can say second phase, just for the love of God.
Close the door.
For the love of God, complete the lap being in first. I don't care. Yeah. Another mistake as well was the aborted lap and then going around again, whatever.
What's going on there?
I don't know about that. Then
at least the team strategist let them be in his ear and telling him what to do anyway. I don't know.
All right. So then now we see Verstappen is now in the lead because of this red flag.
Don't forget as well, Oscar and Verstappen, by the way. People are talking about how amazing that was. Yeah.
Okay, that's another mistake as well. That's another mistake.
Excuse me. He was down the M1 and then he's overtaken you.
So one of the first times I was rubbing my hands. I was like, "This is the first. This is one of the first times
we're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get Oscar versus Max.
We are.
Brother was a doorman at Harrods. He said, "Come inside to whatever. Welcome."
We didn't
look at the difference between him, Oscar, in that scenario, and Leclerc.
Yeah.
Leclerc held him up a little bit. He was closing up the doors. He was doing something. He was doing something. Exactly. Oscar said, "Welcome to my home." There you go. You don't even need to take off your shoes. Welcome to the house. Come inside. I've never seen Oscar do that ever.
He slept. He thought, I've got this.
As if he didn't know who he was racing.
But also, I'm torn between this because I thought he was asleep, but at the same time, the guy understood because he wasn't even in the racing line. He wasn't even on the inside line.
I don't know what he was doing.
The guy went wide.
Indicative of what Oscar was doing in that race. Was man couldn't even overtake Lawson.
No. Yeah, so it's tough, man.
When we get to the ratings at the end, keep that in mind, innit?
People are gonna get that's some penalization.
We got to speak the truth here. We got to speak truth to power.
1,000%,
right?
No, 1,000%.
And I'm not even individualizing, saying Oscar made mistakes, Lando made mistakes, team made mistakes. Everyone. This is one of the worst McLaren weekends in like over a year. Yeah, but we have to analyze. We've got to talk about it because if therapeutically, guys, we're all going to talk about it now, and we'll never speak on it again. But we've got to speak on it, then move on.
I'll bring it up at the very end. There is one positive this weekend. I wonder if you know what it is.
We'll speak on that.
Okay.
I celebrated when Carlos Sainz was out. I was like, Carlos, mate. Yeah, I mean, okay, definitely, but yeah. So we have acknowledged that there were mistakes made by everybody in the team. We also acknowledged, look, we got done out by the weather. We got done out by whatever's wrong with the car when it comes to that second phase of the start. You know, we got done out by that virtual safety car ending. We got done out with the red flag because, you know, we changed the tires. We couldn't change. We lost stop time, basically.
You know what I'm saying?
We could say all the done out stuff, but we were lucky in qualifying that Max Verstappen got knocked out.
Bro. Because P7. What did he start? P17.
This is. You know what's so funny? Yeah. Do you know what's making my head hurt? Yeah.
Go
We're
on.
giving people legendary moments.
Yeah.
Why are we giving other people legendary moments? Because we're not executed.
They're talking about like he had a great day, Max Verstappen. That was a world-class drive. Unfortunately,
what's killing me about this season is we're giving people iconic moments. We're giving Leclerc winning Monaco. Yeah. We're giving him a win in Monza. We're giving Verstappen this win, whatever. Even though Verstappen might have won, regardless. Yeah, but that doesn't excuse why the hell are we losing to Alpine?
Both of them.
Why is Leclerc finishing ahead of both our drivers on the road?
You know what's funny? When I started, so I watched the race live, blah, blah, blah. Then I watched the highlights again today, just the extended highlights, just to refresh my brain, because I threw it in the Enigma behind me. I threw it in the friggin' ether, but I had to bring it back for the pod. Then I realized I see Gasly was like P9, P10 at like 20 laps of the race.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how does he finish P3?
Because he stayed out, because track position mattered. Nobody's overtaking nobody, man.
How does he finish P3? Like, I'm watching him P9. I think he's swinging with Hamilton. I think Hamilton's overtaken him for P9. And I'm watching, how did he finish third? Do you know what it was? It's crazy.
Do you know what it is? Yeah. I'll say this, yeah. Okay, should we just talk about this safety car restart?
Okay, let's talk about it, man. Because
this is the moment I turned on the television, guys. Yeah.
If you had plans on the weekend, I'm telling you, the Brazilian Grand Prix messed up your plans. That's for damn sure.
I just seen Barcelona win. I was like, this is beautiful, whatever. I turn on the TV. I see red flag. Okay, safety car restart. Whatever. Yeah. What the hell is Norris doing?
What, when he went wide in turn one?
I don't know what he's doing, man. I don't know what he's doing, man.
Something was not right. He didn't sleep last night. The night before. He clearly didn't sleep. Clearly something was wrong with him.
And I know people are going to say... Like, I think the team came out to say... No. Yeah, people are going to say that. And then I know the teams came out and say whatever. What was it about? The brakes issues and stuff like that. But not one time. 2 restarts he was sleeping. 2 restarts he was sleeping.
You can't sleep. You can't sleep on the restart. Twice as well. No.
And then the second one, bloody Oscar overtook you and Leclerc. And he said, everybody come true. I said, no, you're taking a piss, man. If the reality is, yeah, these are the moments, right? If you're going to do... and we've been consistent on this channel about the World Drivers' Championship, right? Everything went his way. Up quality, whatever, Max going to wherever he was, whatever. What Max does is out of your control, right? If Max came through from P17 all the way to P1, that's out of your control. You can't really do anything about it, right? If the car's fast, the car's fast. You can't do this. He knows himself. But these are the moments where that hardens you as a Formula 1 driver, right?
Yeah.
That if Oscar makes that mistake or another driver makes that mistake, it don't really matter. Do you know why? Because they're not in the title battle.
They're not in a title battle.
So all eyes are on you, and they're gonna hyper focus on everything that you do, and he's gonna have to live with that at this moment in time, because it's like everybody's watching you because you're the only person that's in contention. Right now, he's legitimately the only person in contention. Yeah. Even though it's not realistic, he's literally the only mathematical.
He was the only one
in contention. Oscar's mathematically out. Leclerc's mathematically out, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this big swing. You're on pole. Your competitors in 17th, right? You have to grab it, both hands.
Grab it by the horns,
race and drive the race of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
And that's what he knows that himself. Everybody knows that, right? Because you could say, okay, the team has to do this. Oscar, team order. You can do all of that, whatever. Norris has to do it himself as well, right?
Yeah, facts.
Because there has to be these moments in Formula 1. There's these moments where the driver has to do his thing.
Yeah, he steps
and
up.
He did not do, and then he didn't do his thing. We have to admit that. This doesn't make him a horrible driver. He's terrible. He's never gonna whatever. This is his first ever title fight, right?
Correct.
I'm not gonna lambast him. We on here will talk about individual races and say, did you perform, yes or no? In this race, he did not perform. Even the biggest Norris fan will say he did not perform.
Absolutely.
right?
Sunday he was poor.
Sunday morning, good. The whole weekend, good. Apart from the
Afternoon,
sprint quali. This one, and even then it was P2.
P2.
This one, not good. This race is what bottom 5 Norris race ever.
Bottom 5.
Bottom 5.
Oh, yeah. And that's it's not even because of position. It's just like we pointed out, the individual mistakes, the things that costed his own race. Even if he couldn't win the race today, on Sunday, he did so many things to ruin his own race.
Yeah, and he will know that himself. He will know that himself. And Stella's been what performance engineer, whatever, with Schumacher, Alonso, all these guys, Raikkonen, top guys, right?
Top guys.
Top guys. He will know the level of what you need to perform to win a title, right?
He would know.
He said in the press conference on the Friday, the strongest race pace he's ever seen was Schumacher 2006 when he was engineering.
That was the strongest ever.
Yeah? You need to put in the worldy drives to win a title.
You have
right?
to.
It's not just about having a fast car, and then it's more than just driving fast.
Because you look at Max, who's not won a race since June, pulled a worldie out.
Yeah.
For his title.
And this is the right reason he would win a title, because of stuff like this, right?
Because of stuff like this, yeah.
Drives like in Spain, stuff like that. Just putting in the work. But guess what? He's had years of driving at the front, owning all of this, right?
Yeah,
mastering his skill, doing what he needs to do. And even then, even if he's just more naturally talented than Lando just needs to go through these motions of disappointment.
Yeah.
So it's like a crossroads for him now. It's like you're either gonna kick on now, or you're gonna be like, this will define you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I wouldn't say this race is gonna define his season. He's had an outstanding season. How many pole positions? How many great races? Yeah. Man's winning races by 20 seconds, 30 seconds. The things are there, right? But you got to string it together. It's not good enough just do it one race. You need to do 4, 5, 6 races in a row. You need to do a madness. It takes more. It takes more than that, right? And if he wants to kick on, this is what he's got to do. We said, when did we say it? I think it was, I don't know if it was Koto or Mexico, whatever. He's not ready yet. And I wouldn't expect him to be ready.
It was last race, yeah.
When we said for the championship, I don't think he's ready yet.
Yeah.
And this is not like a, he will never win. I just say he's not ready right now.
Not today, yeah.
Oscar's not ready.
Yeah.
He's damn sure not ready. So neither drivers. This is quite a unique scenario, right? Because we've got the technical team producing a car that is ahead of the drivers that we have and the strategy team that we have.
Yeah. McLaren have done their job in the sense of giving the drivers the car. Now it's time for the drivers to now fit.
So all the men and women at the factory, all the technical team, them man did their job. This is top performance from those guys, right?
Yeah.
But then the racetrack team, including the drivers, need to catch up with that, right? Hopefully, this is our strength, the technical team, building a consistently strong car year in, year out, right?
Yeah.
You got to kick on from it, because at the end of the day, both drivers are going to have to kick on.
They do.
Whatever performance they did this year, they have to do it better next year. If the car is good, you got to do it better next year.
Correct.
If then Zach Brown's going driver shopping. Because if Zach Brown knows that he's got a car that could win a championship, and neither Oscar or Lando are winning championship, he's going to go driver shopping. And the drivers will know this themselves.
Just let's play fun with this. Where would he go? Let's just say both drivers are having a stinker next year. Where would whose door is he knocking on?
I don't know, man. And the thing is, I wouldn't say it's just on the drivers themselves.
Yeah.
I'd say it's on Stella as well. Stella has to be able to bring it out of both drivers.
True. Yeah, no, true.
It's like coaching. He's got to coach these guys.
We definitely got to, as much as in Stella we trust, we have to also make him accountable if the plane doesn't land.
And these experiences are going to make these guys stronger.
Yeah,
It should do,
1,000%.
because they've been there, done that now, and it's going to make the track strategy team and the trackside team stronger, right? We haven't experienced a race like this in those conditions, but next time it happens, they'll know what to do. They should know. They will refer back to that.
What point do we feel? I mean, yes, you say we've never been here. Would Russia be one of those? Would Sochi be one of these? Or no?
Personally, that was just the thing is, when it's wet, when it's already wet, and the conditions are changing ever so, whatever.
Yeah.
When it's already wet, it's on the driver. If you're already on inters or wets, it's on the driver to decide what's going on. When it slicks and it's about to rain, that's on the pits. That's on the people that are looking at the weather radar, whatever. What's the driver gonna know?
Yeah.
When to pit. That's on the pit wall. But when it's the other way, it's on him, innit? But at the end of the day, like next year, if now the driver kicks on from all these experiences they're learning on right now, that's a failure on the team and it's a failure on the drivers. And the drivers are going to be like in panic mode. Because if the car is good, then there's going to be a line trying to get into that McLaren seat. Like, let me get in there.
There'll be a
queue. Trying to get in there. Let me show what I'm doing, right? This is the scrutiny in the lens that I was going through. One thing that I never do is say that, okay, this person, this is what they are. When it comes to drivers. These guys are too young. Lando's what, 24, about to turn 25. Oscar's 23, 24. 23, but 1 year apart or whatever. 1 year apart.
Oh, is it 1
this
year?
Is not these are not the be all or end all between these two drivers in terms of what they're going to be.
Absolutely not. No. There's still more.
Norris has been chilling in the midfield doing fuck all against Daniel Ricciardo. I don't know how you develop the mentality to win races when you're 40 seconds off the lead and you're doing fuck all midfield against Daniel Ricciardo. That's not actually doing anything at all, right? and Oscar's just got here.
Oscar just arrived. Oh
but
man,
that race was.
I feel you, Mahad. I mean, today, like the last couple of races, we've had moments to rant. We've had time to be annoyed and be vexed about something. But I think today, it all came out for you, because I think this triple weekend header that we've had, I think this was the last straw, because we've suffered the last 3 races. You know what I'm saying? This is not a break we wanted at all.
I've had for the longest time, me and you have said, don't let the media gaslight you and to believe in this is a marketing tool to believe that it's a World Drivers' Championship. There is no World Drivers' Championship. What are you talking about?
There wasn't.
The guy was like 8 points in the lead at some point. What are you talking about? There is none. Yeah. We ain't got bloody Lewis Hamilton in the car or whatever, prime Lewis Hamilton or Senna. We've got 2 kids that have never been here before.
Facts. Yeah, facts.
Right? That have never been in that scenario. So for me personally, I wasn't saying that. I'll just say, you man just deliver constructors, right? Now, just deliver constructors, right? And even then, in the last 3 weeks, we've been stuttering with the constructors.
We have.
This opportunity of Brazil, if we just finish both cars in the top 5, when Sainz is doing whatever he's doing, we've wrapped up constructors.
Yeah.
Basically. Now we've got these last 3 races where we're fighting for our lives.
Yeah. How will you feel if we were to drop the ball and not win the Constructors' Championship this year? How would you feel?
From the point where we're at, no way. My head will be lost.
Your head will be gone.
It's all good and well, like, them times where we were chasing Red Bull. Yeah, that's fine. Because if we ended the season and they beat us, I'll be like, okay, we never got there. But for this team that was third,
yeah,
to come through and win,
yeah,
jolting, I'll be livid.
It would be,
and I think it's very important to win the constructors, because that's the foundations of what this team's going to look like moving forward.
No, factual.
We haven't won a constructor since '98.
This is the real. This is
a momentous occasion. You need these constructors to build a foundation of what this team's going to be looking like moving forward.
Absolutely. It's been what a title race it's been in the constructors. It's been actually quite phenomenal. Like, although Ferrari's never gone first, have they ever gone first this season? Like at the beginning? No, I don't think they probably did. But like the way that, Mercedes were in contention, Ferrari were in contention, Red Bull were leading it, then McLaren's leading it. It's been quite It's been quite a battle, man. It's been quite a battle. Can I get through these comments? Because people have commented.
I'm sorry, guys. I forgot you guys were here.
I forgot y'all were here. There has been over 30 people watching live. Big up yourselves. Make sure you smash
every single one of you.
Yeah, please smash a like on the video.
Say everything now, because we'll never talk about this race again.
Yeah, get it all out now, and we're going to try and get through as many comments as possible. Okay. God, we've hit 40 minutes as well. That's what I'm saying. I felt you there. Like this was like a Stephen A. Smith moment. You know what I mean? On his own show, doing it, getting it all off your chest. Because I think, you had to come off Twitter, didn't you? Everyone had to just come off social media because it was ridiculous what we were seeing.
Yeah, we're not tweeting off that McLaren Thunder Camp.
It's
guys,
just
it's over now. We'll post the link to the stream, but I'm gonna try to start using the YouTube community, guys. So
between now and Abu Dhabi, mate, guys, you're getting posts, and that's it. Shout out to Human Flies. I think it's the first time we've seen you on here. Kind of amazed that we're still in the lead of the constructors. It's amazing. Shout out to you. Z says, "Look, we're still going to win the constructors." There's a lot to discuss here. Hussein says, "Good evening." I don't know if you meant that in the Unai Emery way, but yeah, what a McLaren stinker! It's one to, and that's the thing. It's just that Sunday alone. The Sunday afternoon. Honestly, everything was okay up until that point, and I had such high hopes. Yeah, Adam Heddle. Look, a mixed weekend. Very good sprint. Shocking race. Positives is that we extend the gap to Ferrari in the constructors. That's the only positive I've got this weekend for you. I don't know about you, Mahad, but that was the only one I had. I'm actually surprised we extended the lead, considering
shout outs to Carlos Sainz, man. If we win constructor, I'll put his signs in the McLaren Hall of Fame.
Wow. Where did Leclerc finish? P5. So we finished.
The fact that he should have. There's not a scenario where he should have beaten us.
The fact that both drivers finished behind him was crazy. Hussein says that strategy called lost the race, basically. Flavio Briatore's cooking this weekend. So Alpine have had upgrades when? Kota. And they've had fairly decent weekends.
I'll be totally honest with you. I don't pay attention to them, man.
I ain't paid attention. I'm going to keep it frank.
I remember when they got upgrade. I'm not looking at those guys.
I remember Briatore said something about the Kota race. And since then, they've been decent. They've actually been okay, which is annoying. Shout out to Steph. Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. This is the last time I'm acknowledging Brazilian GP 2024 as a real race. It was an unbelievable farce. We have to forget about it. Guys, by 8 o'clock tonight, it's over. We did not discuss this race. 8 o'clock, GMT time, right? UK time. Ella, hope you're doing well. Hope you're okay. Hi, guys. I have to go full Tiger Mom mode here. This race is New York Yankees Game 5 style. All-time stinker.
I'm a Yankees fan. Why would you say this?
Yankees.
Why would you say this, man? Ella, why?
Shout out to the Nationals and the Orioles, man. Those are my teams, man. You know what I mean? It's love for the MD, man. That's all I can do, boy. But yeah, epic fail. Drea, of course, regular commenter here. Hey guys, this weekend is not great. All in all, Red Bull Max too fast, and I think we screwed up our setup after the sprint. It was hard to see. It was very hard to watch, man. It was a very hard race to watch. I can't lie, because even when because it was such a long race, it makes this more painful because you have to go through it all. You have to sit there and watch through it all. Bonzo just laughing there. The Oracle says, for the first time during and after a race like this, I felt nothing at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't really angry or nothing like that. I was just like, all right.
No, I can't lie, man. I was just like, all I kept asking was how? Like, how did Max win this race? How did the Alpines finish on the podium? How are we not even on the podium when we started P1? Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of hows. I was like, how? That's what I kept asking. These restarts, the red flag, the safety cars, the people spinning out on a formation lap after they've done the Lord's work.
When the race is not straightforward, we don't do well.
literally everything happened. Somebody put a tweet out. I can't remember who it was now, but he said that this race had everything, and he listed all the a black flag, a safety car, a virtual safety car, a red flag, second formation lap, aborted start or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous how many things did happen.
To me, one of the worst races ever. People would say, "Oh, this is a legendary race." To me, no.
Unfortunately, it's going to go down.
Shout out to Max, fantastic drive. No, it's not a legendary race.
No more, nothing else. Shout out to Julia. I don't understand why we are always so bad during sprint weekends and triple headers. Is there something to note about this? Have you noticed this pattern? Because I used to think sprint weekends worked in our favor because not everybody else could gather their data, whereas we knew what our car was.
When was the last triple header? I'm trying to remember.
The Belgium lot? Would it have been Belgium? Let me see. It would have been like a Belgium.
Was it Silverstone?
Let's have a look.
Silverstone.
Are you asking for sprint or are you talking triple header?
I don't know, man. Sprint race, like obviously on a sprint weekend, that's when Lando got his first race, isn't it? So even though we were having a stinker up until the actual race itself in Miami.
Yeah.
The sprint race was stunk. Quality, all of them stuff we were horrible.
Yeah. No,
but the actual race itself, obviously Lando won.
So triple headers. I'm trying to think. Nothing here. No. Would it have been? Yeah, I think I felt much. I don't know. Emilia Romagna, Monaco, Canada. Was Canada back to back? I don't think it was. The 26th of May, 9th of June. No, it would have been that.
We used to be good in sprint races, sprint weekends.
Spain, Austria, Silverstone. That's the one we're talking. Yeah. Barcelona. Was it Barcelona? Yeah. Barcelona, Austria, and Silverstone. How were we then? Didn't win any of them.
No.
Didn't win those races.
We were close to winning two of them.
We were close to winning some of them, yeah. I'm trying to think after that. Yeah, nothing really. There was no triple headers after that.
But we
had one.
We haven't won races in a triple header. And they're the races that we should have won.
And what are we doing now?
Technically think about it, like we should have won Silverstone, we should have won Austria, we should have won Mexico, we should how much time am I gonna say should have?
Yeah, at some point you have to just be like, okay, look,
when we say should have right now, these should have next year can't be should have.
No, they can't be.
Because then that means the team ain't kicked on, the drivers ain't kicked on.
So it's the next Grand Prix in 3 weeks. That can't be right.
I'll be 2 seconds.
No worries. I think it's the next one is actually the 23rd, really, of November, which is Las Vegas. Las Vegas is going to be very, very interesting. And it will be a triple header as well to end the season. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But good point out there, Julia. Let's have a look and see. Watch the space. Steph Flo, what's going on? It's been a minute. What a weekend to both remember for great all-round racing and forget how it all ended for our boys. Shaking my head. Yeah, it's been one of those. What's the racing point? Evening, guys. When I saw the forecast for the weekend at the beginning of the week, I knew this could be a difficult one. Yeah, it wasn't. I must admit, yeah, I was actually surprised. Like, I always feel like I was looking for race weekends. Now, maybe that's the McLaren of 2 years, 3 years ago, and I've still got that very much in my head. I was so sort of like ready for like, oh, okay, this could spice things up. I know what our car's like when it comes to going from wet to dry, so yeah, it would have brought a bit of excitement. I just thought I didn't think we would have a bad one, as you're saying there. I didn't really think it was going to be this big of a deal, but it clearly proved that it was. Julia says, actually, we had another car issue, like Stella said, wheel spin at the start, couldn't press the whole throttle and locking wheels in both cars. See what I'm saying? We have to sort that out, man. We've got to sort that out. Alex the Oracle says we stuck on a barn door rear wing, developed race issues, and both drivers had and team had a poor race. I mean, brake issues. You were saying, it was not the one. It was just not the one. And again, says Julia, screwing strategy, missing the nice pit stop, kind of unlucky, but they never learned. It almost feels like when it becomes too repetitive, at what point is it just like we're unlucky? And where is it like we're actually, is this like not by choice, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, is this our own doing? Bonzo says Oscar was doing so well this weekend. If he qualified front row, it's a completely different race. Yeah, I know, clear air. Oscar Piastri, man. And we were rooting for you last week, and yeah, to see you get P1 in the sprint, you know, we were just like, this is legendary scenes. And he technically should have won the sprint race, but of course we had to prioritize and do what we had to do. Z says almost everything that could go wrong went wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Nom, says hello guys, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you are good to have you back. Hussein says, look, Lando was driving a good race. The pit wall said stay out, and then they switched up. The gifted Max the win. Do you think so? Do you think the pit wall gifted Max the win? No, I'm surprised, man.
Lando was slow, man. He can't even overtake Russell. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
Verstappen was overtaking guys. He was like a second a lap quicker than him.
Yeah, he was. He was
you didn't want to. Trust me, you didn't want the race to continue and Max overtake Lando, because that was going to happen.
That was, but the grip on that RB, because there was one turn he did. He went round the outside of someone. Who did he go round the outside? Wet condition. Went round the outside. It might have been Hamilton. It might have been Hamilton. He went round the outside.
He dunked on everybody, man.
He did dunk on everyone. He went round the outside, and I said, "Nah, how's this car got that much grip? It's ridiculous." Nom says, "I'm still a bit depressed, to be honest. I was emotionally drained after the weekend." I think that's a fair point, man. I was knackered. I'd come back from the Newcastle Arsenal game. I honestly, I was just done, and I thought Formula One will help me this weekend. Okay,
did not help you.
Did not help me one bit. But the Commanders did. They beat the Giants, so we'll have that. I'll take that all day long.
Lovely, jubbly.
Adam says, stared at a wall for an hour after the race because I couldn't believe the result. Yeah, there was a lot of how, question mark, why, question mark, you know. Dre said, I feared for us with the weather forecast. So look, two people have mentioned this now.
Yeah, maybe we're not good in if the race ain't straightforward, the strategy team is not good. They come into the race with like a good plan laid out.
Yeah.
But if the two weaknesses right now is if there's weather changes, or if Lando and Oscar are right next to each other. With Lando and Oscar right next to each other, they malfunction. They don't even know what to do.
Oh, it's a lot of things, man. Shout out to Hans, says if the driver mistakes in future continuous in 2026. If the driver mistakes in the future
let's talk about this, because this is the rally. Yeah, I know all of us hold Oscar and Lando in high esteem. We love these guys, right? Yeah. But the rally is if the car continues to be good. Yeah. And neither Oscar or Lando are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Zach Brown's brutal, you know.
We know that.
He start making calls.
With our darling Daniel Ricciardo. We know that. We know he's brutal. There is no denying that at all.
I look at it like this as well sometimes as well, yeah. Because, Norris should be taking the lead. Norris is the more experienced driver, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm delayed right now. Am I
no,
cutting out?
You're good, bro.
Okay.
I'm with you.
So Norris should be taking the lead. So therefore, he should hold the brunt of the criticism in terms of when stuff is not delivered. In terms of from the driver's aspect, not just pit wall. Pit wall can hold its own criticism as well. I'm talking about the drivers, right? He's going to hold more criticism than Oscar, right? But if Norris didn't exist in the team and it was like another driver that wasn't as good, and Oscar was the one leading the team, would even be worse right now, points wise. So, and then he will have the bly of, okay, he's not that experienced and we're putting the chips in there. But for me, like, I thought Oscar would be closer now to Norris more consistently.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I've got two separate worries. I think, is Norris ever going to get there? Yeah. And I'm like, with Oscar, why are you not there with Norris? So it's twofold, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm just telling you what Zach is probably thinking. Zach is like, I'll sign this Oscar guy just in case. Because he did this with Ricciardo. He signed Ricciardo as the number one driver.
Yeah.
He didn't believe Norris was the number one driver. He signed Ricciardo as the number one driver, right?
Correct.
He signed Oscar as, okay, if this doesn't work out with Norris, I've got this backup, right? But then if this backup is not progressing at the rate that I need him to progress, like let's go back. Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Lewis Hamilton was there. Fernando Alonso
ready and waiting.
Fernando Alonso was a 2-time world champion. I was gassed. I was like, we signed a 2-time world champion.
Yeah.
We've got a rookie. He's there already. There was races he was already dunking on his head. Just pure in all aspects of racing. He was dunking on his head.
He was.
And then by the next seat, he was already better than him. So maybe my expectation was for Oscar was a bit too high. Because I was thinking, okay, he at least needs to be the certain races where Oscar needs to blow this guy away. And it hasn't happened this weekend where he's like completely miles clear of him. Apart from Spa, probably. He's not really shown that 3, 4, 5 weekends in a row where this guy's astronomically clear of him, nowhere near him, put 6/10 on him, qualifying, and that's because Lando's good, obviously.
Yeah.
But with both drivers, maybe Zach is thinking, "Oh, is there better out there?"
No, true.
If they don't make the progress that they're expected to make, if they get all the experience that's happened this year and kick on, then Zach's got nothing to worry about because Zach's going to be like, okay, these guys, we got the youngest driver pairing on the grid. They're going to progress, right?
Yeah.
If they're just stagnant and they don't, this is the reality of it.
It is the reality. Do you think Oscar's year this year is better than Charles's first year at Ferrari?
Charles's first year at Ferrari was nuts.
It was nuts. He had 2 race wins. Don't get me wrong. Albeit,
the problem is with me. I believe your speed is your speed.
And do you believe Oscar's quick?
I don't think he's as quick as Lando.
Because I always believed he was quick. Is it a case of is he not quick or is it?
I can't say the tire thing anymore. I just don't think he can. He's probably got better racecraft than Lando already. I can say that for a fact.
Yeah.
But with me in Formula One, I think number one thing, the most fundamental thing, everybody will try to distract you with everything. The most fundamental thing is you need to be fast. You need to be rapido. You need to have elite speed, right?
Yeah.
And Norris has got elite speed with the top guys.
He does. He does.
The top guys.
He swings. Yeah.
Yeah?
He swings.
Has Oscar not got that elite speed? And I think the elite speed is something that's fundamental from the jump. Leclerc showed he had elite speed from the jump when he got into that Ferrari.
It's true.
So that's my worry about Oscar. And with Norris, you got sort this racecraft out now.
But you don't think, like when Norris obviously joined us, like we knew there was a quick kid in there, but we didn't actually ever get to really fully like experience
because of the car. And then when the car got a bit better in 21, he was doing a madness.
Yeah, he was on them podiums. Yeah, he was.
And the reality is, if Max was in our car right now, we'd probably be chilling right now. We'd be winning the World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But we have to have these conversations.
Yeah.
This is not me levying criticism at Lando or Oscar, but this is a conversation that Stella will be having with them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We learn from this year. What did you do wrong here? What did you do wrong here? How do we do better? How do we progress?
Is Hussein got a point here? Is Oscar scared of hitting the car in the wall in quali? Is there an element of it?
I think Oscar's a maniac in terms of bravery.
Do you think he's brave? You actually think he's
super brave? And I think that Norris is the cautious one. Or just Norris is quicker than him. That's why he's got the measure of him in quali. I think I genuinely believe that Oscar was closer to Lando in quali last year than this year. I don't know how you've gone backwards.
It's a good point. Or did Lando extend?
Remember, we said Lando, the only thing that he mentioned over the winter, the only comment he made is I'm working on quali.
Quali. Yeah.
So it could be that Lando's taken a step in quali because this is what I'm saying. And Lando is definitely better than quali from last year to this year.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Over the winter, you make improvements, you go again.
You go again. It's true. What do you think about
Norris
this?
has shown me that he makes improvements and goes again.
What about this from John McLaren? Alonso wins the Drivers' Championship this season. in that McLaren.
The one question mark I got about Alonso this particular season, and he's still got the speed.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the race car. He's definitely got the IQ. He's got everything there.
He's so good, isn't he? He's so like.
I'm seeing Stroll match him sometimes. I'm not liking it. That's a question mark, guys.
Bro, Stroll is hilarious.
That's an A-string. That's not just quality or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, Human Fly says, look, Oscar's so good sometimes. He just does like the consistency, though. Hopefully that will improve next year. I genuinely believe Oscar will be a beast next year.
He has to. He knows he has to. He knows he's got a kick on. He was pissed off last year about the tire management. He's kind of managed that a little bit better now. Yeah. So he's shown an improvement from last year as well in the race. But this quality thing, he needs to sort it out. Absolutely.
You guys have been commenting loads. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap up and do the awards. But yeah, Reincarnation says, look, if you pay attention to IndyCar, you will know how brutal Zach Brown is. That was to your point earlier. TSJ Awesome says, I was the opposite. I thought football would help me from the F1, but the football was 10 times worse. I wonder who you support. And
I support Brentford.
Oh, that's a howler in the dying minutes.
Oh my God. Okay, the F1 crazy. Is not touching that. I'm sorry.
I said my poor New York team says Steph Flo, man. Listen, J Starship say anyone can beat the Giants. Listen, it is what it is, and it is what it is. 3 races left, thank goodness.
It's like exhausting season. Man.
Red Sox fan says Ella. We've got people that are all over the place, man. You know, and you extended because science stinks. Listen, the game's the game.
The game's the game. Let him crash. He crashed multiple times this weekend. This is what I saw at McLaren. People are telling me he's better than Lando. I saw that multiple times.
Yeah.
I've heard radios, Norris, signs crashing out, doing a madness in Russia, opening lap. And then Norris saying, what the hell is this guy doing? Trying to be a hero to turn 1.
Last question before we get to the awards. Will we win the Constructors' Championship, in your opinion? Triple header.
Yes. I think the break is helping us. If there was no break, we're finished.
Is there one more sprint?
The mentality we got right now.
Is there a sprint?
Yeah, Qatar. Shout out to Oscar. Come on. Bag that, mate.
We need Oscar. Yeah. Rest in peace, Brazil. Absolutely. Okay, let's start things off with the awards. By the way, just to give you guys an update, or not an update, but just to let you know, race results, P6 for Lando Norris, P8 for Oscar Piastri. Constructors, we are still P1. Drivers, it's still P2 for Lando Norris and P4 for Oscar. What does the pit crew get out of 10? We try, human. We try. We have to. We've got to. We've got to. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think we had. We didn't have a quick pit stop.
I was going to say that. I almost laughed because I was like, pit crew. Do we have any pits when we were on
pit crew's knackered, man. Them man are setting up the car early doors, 5 a.m.
What was it with the lack of timing for them?
They were knackered, man. Because
I mean, look, we didn't talk about their aborted start. I mean, look,
that's a howl.
What's going on?
From the time I saw the back markers not move, I knew this guy made a mistake.
I thought everyone else just had like an absolute mare and couldn't start their car. Like I just thought they've had an issue. I did not know at all what we were doing was illegal. I had no idea what we were doing was wrong. And the fact that we only got like, what was it, a $5,000 fine? Is that all that Nando
$5,000 fine? Apparently Sainz did it last year and nobody even noticed. Everybody just followed him around in Monza.
Man, I swear Max Verstappen jumped the start. I swear he did. Bro, he come out of the box, yeah.
Man's P12 immediately. I was like, huh?
No. When I rewatched that restart, I said, no, Max cheated. Even on board, they put him on board. I said, he's cheated. There's no way he's come out of the block like that. You know?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Human says,
pit crew for me is going to get a 6 because we've been on a hot streak.
We have been.
We've been getting number one pit stop. We had a little 1.9 or something in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm gonna give him a 6 this week just because we're letting Sauber dunk on us.
Sauber's got nothing else to do, though. They've got nothing else to do. All they care about is weight training, strength training. That's what they care about.
No, the pit crew was knackered, though. Shout out to the pit crew. They've done a fantastic job, man. You have to remember they built the car, they set everything up. They were there from 5:30 in the morning, man. God. So I'm going to give him... I'll give him a 7. I'll give him black.
Okay. Hussein says 8. Drea says 7, 6th and 7th fastest. It was all right. 5.5 says Alex, the Oracle.
Oracle's harsh,
Crew,
man.
Pit Crew 6. Everyone's just hurt, man. We're just
back
hurt.
Back to back, three races in a row, man.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. You see these, man? They put in a shift, Williams.
Yeah.
They put in a shift.
One thing I'll shout out Lando and Oscar for: these men do not write off the car.
They don't write off their cars.
These other teams, they're just writing it off for fun, man.
Listen, Stella said it at the end of his thing. He said, "Look, at the end of the day, credit to the boys. They kept both cars on the thing and they finished the race.
Crazy conditions and they don't crash.
Crazy, yeah. Considering the conditions, Pit Crew gets 7. Says Steph.
Yeah, I say 7. Yeah. The conditions were nuts as well.
Yeah." Strolovic, 10 out of 10 race.
We were talking about that. When people complain about Landon Oscar on this team making mistakes or whatever, we ain't got drivers doing that. So be happy. We don't have drivers doing that.
Okay, strategists. How much of them are unlucky? How much of it is unluck for the strategists?
You got
in
those conditions.
Is the rear wing a thing? Is this part of the strategy stuff?
Yeah, I think it is because you're making that decision holistically with the team, saying okay,
it's a race directive, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's
the direction of the race.
We're gonna have a briefing. This is what we're gonna do in Parc Ferme, outside of Parc Ferme, in between the two races, two events. If you make that decision, I understand these guys are gonna be risk averse. They're not going to put a rear wing they've never seen in these type of conditions on and then sink like a rock in the race. Yeah. Even though we didn't look fast anyway. That's part of strategy. That diabolical behavior in the sprint race. That's a howler. We cannot. People might not acknowledge it. I would acknowledge it. For me personally, if the way the weekend was going and everything like that, and you're on the front row, and it's still mathematically possible to win the title or whatever with Lando Norris, just switch the positions. What the hell are we doing there? It's only 1 point. Who cares about sprint race? Nobody cares about sprint race, right? It would have been a way more difficult decision in a race. And then I could understand the kind of heartstring. It's a sprint race. Who cares? It's 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who gives a damn? You don't even get a trophy. You get a little plaque or whatever. I don't even know what you get.
Is it a tire? Is it a tire?
I don't know what you get. Nobody
the
cares.
Quali tire. I'm getting a quali tire.
So stop embarrassing me and my homegirls in front of the public. With the stupidness that's going on, right? Swap on the last lap. What happens if someone bins? Just forget about it. Yeah. The race itself, I think if Lando's trying to box, Lando's saying, first of all, you listen to your driver, right? If he's out there in the condition, when it's raining, the driver leads the pits, the decision to pit, right?
Unless that's a tough one, Mahad, because unless
I just say go out, I just say do 1 lap longer or box immediately when the virtual safety car's out to get out of whatever Russell's way. Because I think the scenario of boxing where Russell boxed is a howler. That's my only objection. It's the decision to box, I don't care about.
Okay.
Because who would have foresaw a red flag and a safety car going around, all that kind of stuff? Who would have foresaw that, right? Nobody can. Nobody's a genie or whatever. Mystic Meg. But you do not box the same time as Russell if you're racing Russell. There's no way.
Yeah. Fair. No, that's fair.
That's me personally. That's my opinion. I know there was a virtual safety car, whatever. Virtual safety car is different to safety car. Virtual safety car can switch off anytime.
Yeah.
And they did it when he was entering the pit lane.
Yeah, we learned that. It's not like we got to wait for like a full lap to be completed. They can just turn it off as and when they feel. The people are saying, look, 4 out of 10 for strategy. Steph, I think, has changed her mind because it said, look, they look like they were gambling most of the time to 6. I don't know. I'm just mad. and then
we oscillate in it. This team, the strategy team, oscillates from gambling too much or not gambling at all.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground.
Scratch that. I'm giving them a 5. TSJ Awesome says 4. Z says 4. Alex says 3. People are not happy. They're not happy. Sprint was a mess. That was the most obvious red flag blunder I've ever seen. Julia says, no excuses. We did these mistakes not for the first time in mixed conditions. So
It weren't mixed conditions though.
Or 5. This is
if it was mixed conditions, we win the race by 30 seconds.
It stopped raining though, no?
At the end, it was
wasn't it in the middle, or was it the start of the race when it didn't rain? There was a moment when it
rains. This car is ass. When it's raining proper hard, this car is not good. We saw this already. We know this already. I'm saying if it was like it rained at the beginning of the race and then it was drying up, we're elite. But and we're like the same as what qualifying was, and that's why Lando put it on pole. But that wasn't the case.
No. Drea says strategy 4. Reincarnation says 4 as well. Waited too long for the sprint. Immediately switch the cars or just leave them be, says Z. Julia says, look, they kept saying 2 number 1 drivers and family-friendly atmosphere, which will ruin this team if it continues.
Yeah, but then this is the issue, guys. Yeah. These man, we're gonna live this. We're gonna live Mercedes 2014, 15, 16. These man, they're allowed to duke it out, right?
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen.
That's what
we have to either accept it or not accept it. What I don't accept is having like a Kovalainen 2.0 in the other seat. You might love it if you're a Lando fan and you've got a rubbish guy next to you. You might love it, or if you're an Oscar fan and you've got a rubbish guy in the other seat, you might love it. But for me, as a McLaren fan, I cannot have a meaty guy in the other seat.
No.
These guys how it's going to go every season is these guys are going to duke it out, and whoever's got a points margin at a certain race, that's the number 1 driver for the remainder of the season. But then they have to acknowledge they have to do that as a team.
Yeah.
Right. What they did now? Why are we in November and they're talking about who's number 1 driver? What are you talking about? It's evidently clear.
It's true. Human Fly says strategy 2, but that's with hindsight. Without hindsight, I give him a 5. That's a fair judgment, I mean, Khaled, shout out to you, says 2 as well. How the hell do they do that? It's true. Track position was the most important thing. 3.5 out of 10 says Hussein has changed his mind. Quick Scott D, guys, Cameron just put a video titled Red Bull sign Colapinto for $20 million. Is that true?
Is he worth $20 million?
Steady.
I'm just asking a question. This is a McLaren board. I'm just asking that question.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking
questions.
Red Bull,
now we have to do the ratings of the drivers. This is going to be a difficult one.
We do,
guys.
We do. What are we saying, drivers?
Who should we do first?
We'll start with Oscar. Oscar finished. We usually start with the guy. The last person is the one that's finished higher up. Oscar overall weekend. God dang. Norris 2.5. Piastri 3.5. Are we heading in that direction?
Are we taking into account? Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think they did well all the way up until quali. No, quali, not up to the race. The weekend was smooth. These men were these 2 drivers were on target for a 9 and above rating, right? The second the lights went out in that race,
literally,
automatically -4 points for the race, just automatically.
Oh my god!
So for Oscar, automatically -4 because of the qualifying P8. Yeah, race start Lando automatically -4 straight away. Remember, guys, we do this every week. We're gonna add it up at the end of the season, right?
Oh, God.
We're gonna add these ratings up at the end of the season. Yeah, I guarantee now this is the worst.
The Brazilian Grand Prix is the worst one. Sao Paulo GP is the worst. Yeah.
We've done how many races now? We're in like, I don't know, 20 or
20,
21. We're on 21. I don't know, something.
21.
Yeah. Think about it, Peter. Think about all the ratings we've done for the drivers. This is going to be the worst weekend.
I think it is.
Because we could take into account now, Oscar got. Look, think about it. Look at the stats right now. Oscar got sprint pole. Lando got a real pole. This should be a slam dunk 8.
Yeah, we should be comfy in the 8s.
That man threw it in the bin in the race.
And then in the race,
I didn't even say the other thing when remember they switched positions, Oscar and Lando.
Yeah.
When Lando went wide. Look what I'm even saying. Lando went wide. I had to get the position back so he can go get Leclerc, yeah? Then
Correct.
Oscar all of a sudden had a little moment and then he was 4 seconds down on Lando. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, these men are having howlers. Both of them are having an absolute stinker.
The people.
And people will talk about, and obviously the first bit of the race, you know, that middle bit of the race where it's hard conditions, whatever. I give them an allowance for that. The rain was crazy, whatever, yeah? But after the safety car restart, the conditions weren't even that bad. They were having stinkers.
Bro, what about what Alex is saying before we even started the race?
Yeah, come on, man. I don't know if they learned that from karting or from like Formula 4 or whatever. I swear you're supposed to know all the lights and what they mean.
I guess, but you know, like it comes once in a blue. Like, when was the last time we had this? I couldn't tell you.
Oh no, Monza last year, and then Sainz didn't even follow it. He just went around, and everybody went around with him.
He just
nobody even noticed. Nobody even mentioned it.
So why have we got penalised now all of a sudden?
Because Max didn't move. He's smart, man.
Since when did you get a black flag for moving the car off a drain? What's going on there?
Oh no! Someone pushed it off. Yeah, you're not allowed interference, man. You get black flag.
Come on, bro. To take my car off the drain.
I ain't seen a black flag since 2005. You know how crazy that is. I remember Montoya.
You know what's funny,
Montoya got a black flag in Canada driving from McLaren. I said, this guy's a bozo. He's winning the race. He's a bozo. He got black. How about you getting a black flag winning the race?
But why is that even a rule, though? In all honesty, my car's stuck on the thing, on the grill.
Stewards helped it. You're not allowed outside assistance. Okay.
Why did he think he could get away with it though? Well, like, what was the thought process?
That's why apparently he didn't even react because he knew. Hulkenberg knew.
As soon as it went red flag, they were like, "Yeah."
He saw the black flag on the feed. He's like, "All right, whatever, man. I know." All right, you give me Oscar. Give me an Oscar. Go on.
Oscar for me is a 3. It's a 3. He stunk the joint. Sorry, brother. And I had high hopes for you, my friend. Okay, and literally, you put it on pole. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you were winning the race, and I literally thought this about you. I thought you were gonna go win the sprint, right? And then, yeah,
he did out in my mind. He won the sprint.
Yeah, same here.
As McLaren fans, we have to acknowledge he won the sprint.
Yeah, same here.
Same way I see all the team orders. Like for me, Coulthard won in Australia when they did team orders on his head top for Hakkinen. To me, Coulthard won that race. Same way. Oscar won that race.
Yeah.
For me, Oscar, it went downhill in quali Q3, real quali.
Yeah.
And then the race, this Lawson nonsense.
It's a stink.
It's a stink. So I'm gonna give him a 3.5. But for me, Lando was worse because you're on pole.
What's the Lando score?
He's getting 3.
1.5.
You lot 1.5. Don't kill the average, man.
Because he killed every pole he had.
Nah, man. Singapore, he didn't kill the pole. He cooked. But everything that could go wrong went wrong.
2. It's a Z. So
no, the difference between Oscar and Lando and why I'm rating Lando less than Oscar is that Lando was on pole. And he technically, if I count all the errors, he made more errors than Oscar. Although he didn't make an error in qualifying, he made more errors than Oscar.
In the race,
so and for that little reason, Lando gets a 3, Oscar gets a 3.5.
Yeah,
even though Oscar was in the race, he was not good either. These guys, do you know what? Let me give them both 3s.
That's for
the first time ever, they both get the same score. They're getting both the same score.
Yeah, they're both getting 3s for me. That's exactly what I was going to say. Both get a 3 because Oscar, man, flip me. You know, Q3 to the end of the race. Where were you? Thankfully you finished the race and thankfully you finished in the points. But that's because science saved us. You know what I mean? Not because of our own doing. Science saved us, man.
One thing I will say is I'm going to give an additional rating just before we log off. I'm giving Stella a 3.
Oh, Stella's getting it.
I need him to stop talking to the media.
What? Way too much on a James Madison.
I've seen him in a headline, right? I see the headline. He did some interview, whatever. He said, "Oh yeah, World Constructors Championship was always the goal." Even if it was always the goal, can you? And it should be always the goal. Can you keep that indoors?
Can you keep that quiet, please?
Keep that indoors. Keep that information indoors. Zach will belly phone and saying, "Can you not say this?"
Yeah,
because the reality is, in every Formula One team, it is going to be the number one goal, because the people that build the car, the hundreds and hundreds of people that work in the factory, that is their bonus for Christmas. That's how people get fed.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't give a damn about the Drivers' Championship. If they don't win the Constructors, Drivers' Championship and Constructors, because the Drivers' Championship is a little bonus. The Constructors is important for all the men and women that work hard at McLaren.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Facts.
And the people that built that car, the highest performing people in McLaren right now is the people that built that car.
Yeah, 1,000%.
They're higher performing than the drivers, higher performing than the pit crew. Anybody, they're the ones that deserve a reward, right?
They put a car.
And I understand what Stella is saying, because he's trying to manage. He's not just managing the pit crew and the drivers. He manages the whole organization, 800 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So of course he's gonna say indoors, behind closed doors, we care about the constructors, number one, right?
Yeah.
Don't say this in public.
1,000%. As Z says here, that race was maddening on all levels, man. Yeah, absolutely. People, this race is now behind us. We put Sao Paulo 2024. We lump that in the bin. And we will come back. You guys, rest and recoup, okay? And we will be back after the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So enjoy it. Saturday night business for us in the UK. It'll be interesting.
Las Vegas, baby. When is the Las Vegas Grand Prix?
Oh. I think 23rd of November. 23rd is the race.
Okay. So, yeah. We'll be there.
But yeah, remember, practice is Thursday. For you guys in the UK, or even in Europe, I'd say, practice is Thursday, right? Practice 1, practice 2 is Thursday. Practice 3 is Friday. And qualifying is Friday night. And the race is at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. UK time. Is that correct?
No, it's on at 6 a.m, man.
Is it 10 p.m. in Las Vegas?
It's on at 10 p.m. Vegas time, whatever.
Okay, Vegas time. Yeah, so it's at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Guys, we're not going to be on Twitter for the remainder of the year. But
yeah, we can't.
we're gonna start a YouTube community.
Yeah,
so we've got access now. I got a notification saying we can start a YouTube community. So we're gonna be posting on there. So guys, all just post on there, subscribe, you know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and correct, Z. The reaction to Lando has been discussed.
I'm seeing death threats is nasty. I'm not on Twitter, man. Forget about it.
Drea says, let's move on now. I want to see 3 good races now. No more screwing up, please. We need to finish this year strong. I believe we will. Sorry for my bad English, but can they win the Constructors' Championship, says Khalid. It's ours.
It's ours. It's done.
It's ours.
Once we say it, it's written in stone.
And on that note, people, we will see you after Las Vegas. Until then, peace. Take care.